While the three of them roamed the streets of Doe Valley, Helen stumbled upon an '89 Ford Bronco in a better condition than the Toyota. He proposed stocking up on food and water and driving alone to West Point to scout the city, ensuring it wasn't already in shambles or overrun by zombies. It was a dangerous plan, yet not without its logic. The previous vibrancy of West Point and its significant population left uncertainty about its current habitability. In comparison to small towns like Riverside and Doe Valley, the virus outbreak must have progressed at a faster pace in big cities. With higher population density, there will be more infected individuals, and cities generally have better infrastructure and faster military response. Therefore, whatever happened in West Point, it would have occurred swiftly. The city could have already fallen to zombies or experienced complete devastation due to a military containment strategy. If either of those hypotheses is true, then by the time the three of them reach the city, they will have no choice but to relocate to the next location. After a brief discussion among the three of them, they made a decision. Duply and Kage would remain in the city, collecting info and supplies. Meanwhile, Helen would undertake the journey to West Point by himself, with the goal of evaluating the city's condition firsthand and setting up a meeting point for later.
Yeah, I see.
There you go. This car just it stops sometimes.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty fucked up then.
Yeah, it's like the key. Someone took my key out of the ignition. I have to like put it back in and then drive it.
Yeah, it's the engine, man. Engine's probably bad.
What the
Let me check.
fuck?
Given Kage's experience and expertise, he took on the responsibility of establishing a temporary safe house. The safe house will serve as a secure location to store valuable items and provide shelter for the group. They decided to choose the loft near the gas station. Its proximity to an abundant supply of gasoline made it an ideal choice, ensuring they would have a continuous fuel source for their vehicle. Additionally, the nearby pound would serve as a reliable water source in case of any water shutdowns or shortages.
Alright, one window is down. Can you, when you have a second, make some sheet ropes? Open a window, right click on that.
Oh, add escape rope.
Yep.
The majority of July 15th was dedicated to fortifying the base. They focused on reinforcing the base by barricading the first floor windows and installing escape ropes on the second floor windows. Kage took charge of the heavy lifting and shared his knowledge with Duply, imparting valuable survival skills in this unforgiving world. During their preparations, Kage shared an intriguing piece of information he had gleaned from an emergency broadcast radio channel. According to the broadcast, there were indications of forthcoming air activity, although the true purpose and implication of this activity remained shrouded in mystery. Kage formulated a theory, suggesting that the anticipated air activity could be attributed to military helicopters transporting crucial equipment or personnel out of the Nox exclusion zone. According to his speculation, this day marked the abandonment of the exclusion zone, signifying the cessation of electricity and water supply to the area. Duply felt his anxiety escalating, as if a silent timer has been placed inside of him, ticking away relentlessly. Recognizing the urgency of his situation, Duply wasted no time and pressed on with his search for supplies. This time, his quest extended beyond the mere acquisition of food and water. Determined to maximize his chance of survival, he actively sought out skill books to enhance his knowledge and scoured the area for abandoned cars to serve as practical training grounds for his mechanical skills. The search persisted tirelessly throughout the day and extended into the depth of the night. He spent the entire night going from door to door, searching for TVs and radios to disassemble. In the morning, Duply set out in the car, venturing deeper into the town to explore and discover what lay ahead. A couple blocks into his journey, Duply stumbled upon a bookstore. It was a treasure trove filled with an array of skill books and magazines, precisely what he had been searching for. Eager to expand his knowledge, he cautiously positioned himself near the entrance, ensuring a clear line of sight to the door, just in case any wandering zombies happened to wander in. As he delved deeper into the books, absorbing the information they held, a faint rumbling sound reached his ear from the distant field. The rumbling sound grew louder, now discernible as that of an engine-powered machine. Duply wondered if it could be a car approaching.
Oh my god. Look at all this. Oh my god, this is not good.
Moments after Duply heard the distinct rotor sound, a helicopter suddenly materialized. Its attention fixated on him, initiating an alarming pursuit. As if drawn by the commotion, the presence of the helicopter attracted swarms of additional zombies, heightening the level of peril. Pushing the car to its limit, Duply managed to outmaneuver the relentless pursuit of the helicopter, eventually finding a safe distance between them. As the helicopter finally departed from the area, relief washed over Duply. However, upon returning to the bookstore, his heart sank. The streets, once empty, were now infested with hundreds of zombies, crawling and shuffling about. Their number was simply too great. Duply decided to first return to the base to resupply and come back at a later time. However, he was then greeted by another group of zombies waiting outside. He fought long and hard, his clothes become soaked with sweat in the process. He dropped off a few books that he had taken from the bookstore earlier and repaired his baseball bat with some duct tape. The base was quiet. He knew his partner Kage wasn't home, but at this time, he was more worried about running into the helicopter again than Kage's whereabouts. The man had survived for so long on his own, what could possibly happen to him? He had probably heard the helicopter too and went out to investigate. Duply left the base once again, seemingly heading in the direction of the bookstore for reasons unknown. He didn't stop to drink despite his thirst level being relatively high, and he didn't drop any additional weight despite being moderately encumbered. If I were him, I would not risk my life while being thirsty and simply walking into more troubles while carrying a heavy load, as both factors can negatively affect my combat efficiency. But there is nothing I can do to change what has already happened, so let's see where these reckless actions will lead him. Duply went on killing every zombie he saw. An offensive move for defensive purposes? I suppose if he were to head straight to the bookstore while ignoring all the zombies, it would make his return trip more dangerous and difficult. The slaughter continued into the night. After clearing the zombies in front of the farming and rural supply shop, our protagonist finally took his first drink of water. He then sneaked his way from the back of the shop and reached the police station that he and Kage had explored 2 days ago. There were no zombies close to the police station, aside from 2 large groups on the other side of the street, so he pressed on. But just as he approached the fence further down the street, a group of zombies emerged from the shadows and quickly moved towards Duply's position. Overconfident in his head-bashing skills, Duply didn't choose to run away. Instead, he stood his ground, deciding to single-handedly defeat the oncoming danger. However, this turned out to be a huge mistake. Duply tried to use the hit-and-run tactic on the horde, but with the cover-up night, his vision was significantly obscured. It became difficult for him to discern the horde's movement and estimate the numbers of zombies tailing him. While he could have jumped over a tall fence as he had done previously, but the darkness added another risk. He could easily jump from one group of zombies into another. So he ran, as he should have done in the first place. But then he ran into another group of zombies that he knew about. Yes, just like tripping over a banana peel that you saw 10 minutes earlier. In the process of escaping and fighting, Duply was bitten 3 times. Once in his forearm, which resulted in laceration and bleeding, once on his right upper arm resulting in a bite and bleeding, and lastly on his neck, also causing a bite and bleeding. So in other words, he's f***ing dead. But this wasn't the last nail in the coffin, the last lick of your ice cream cone, the last sip of your coffee, the last video on TikTok, the last hiya from Uncle Rogers, the last school shooting, and where am I going with this? What I'm trying to say is, those aren't the final events. This is the returning to the base. Suffering from critical damage, Duply returned to the base with a group of zombies still hot on his tail. He shut the door and went to the second floor, hoping to confuse the zombie with the stairs and put their pathfinding skill to the test. Unfortunately, unlike zombies in Minecraft, these zombies maneuvered their way up to the second level with ease, and surrounded Duply's weakened body in a blink of an eye. And here we are, witnessing the final moment of Duply, a wary, frightened man being overwhelmed and bitten to death. What have we learned from this? Never push your luck at night. Be smart and choose your battle wisely. Lastly, avoid returning to your base when being chased. I guess I did alright on my first first character. Surviving for 8 days straight and then killing over 296 zombies with some help, of course. It is what it is, right? And of course, the story isn't over, as I just respawned and picked up where I left off. However, considering what happened later on, I think this is a good point to wrap up this video and save the rest for the next one. So I hope you enjoyed this video where I made a fool of myself dying for a stupid cause. And once again, thank you for 273 subscribers. 273, that's 50 more than when I uploaded my last video. That's pretty good, right? Right? Come on, man, say something. If you enjoyed this video and found it somewhat entertaining, feel free to leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. Your support would be greatly appreciated, as it motivates me to continue creating more videos for your enjoyment. Thank you for your consideration, and I will see you next time.